Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others, or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Machedo is the best.
In this video, I'm going to share with you my experience of having dealt with people who are looking for well-paying jobs. What are the baseline problems that I tend to notice that these people do, especially with regards to, everyone wants a well-paying job, but why is it that some people really cannot get a well-paying job? They can only get a job at the same salary or lower. And then why there are some people who get like incredible jobs and you're like, bloody hell, man, why is he so lucky? So in this video, I'm going to share with you these thoughts. You tell me if you agree, disagree, and feel free to put your words of wisdom. Okay. Now, I've been in this industry or doing this work for the last, I think, 20 years. I used to do it as a part-time kind of a thing, kind of a fun thing. And then I moved into doing it kind of full-time, but where I'd focus on resume rebranding, personal interview coaching, and then I moved into personal branding for all this. And today I do it full-time online. Okay, so it has been a long journey. The first thing which I tell people is, if you're searching for a job, it is searching for a well-paying job. It is a job in itself. It's not a casual affair. It's not time pass. It's not something that you do when you feel like. Like, there are people who I speak to and they tell me, hey, Loy, I've tried so hard. I'm not getting any job offers. So then I ask them, okay, how many places have you applied? Oh, I applied to 7 or 8 or 10. Okay, fine. Since how long? That is where it surprised me. Oh, I've been trying for 6 months. Then I'm like, okay, so let me understand this. In the last 6 months, you applied to, say, 10 or 12 places. That means 2 places per month. And there's no response. Yeah. I said, that is where I tell them, my dear, you can't just apply to one person, sit and wait for miracles to happen. You have to be a aggressive marketing machine. You have to be like one of those non-stop hustlers on Red Bull or steroids. I mean, I'll give you my example. When I was a freelancer and I had to market my services, obviously I didn't believe in giving people a CV. That was me in Dubai, my personality. I used to physically, obviously, you have to make calls, you have to finish, check with appointments, availability, whether you can enter that particular zone like Jablali Free Zone or Media City or Internet City. And I would make a list of companies that I would go to, and I would 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if in case anybody wanted a resume or a profile, it would be ready. So it was a very aggressive, well thought out strategy every single day. And I'll tell you this, I never did it sitting at home. This is a very big piece of advice. I meet so many people online and I ask them, okay, how many places have you applied for a CV? Oh, Loy, I sent 1,000 people. 1,000 in how many months? No, I did it in the last 7 days. 7 days, 1,000 people, what? Oh, I sent emails. My dear, nobody reads emails. Nobody reads emails, especially unsolicited emails. I'll ask you this. Go to your Gmail and check in the spam folder how many emails are marked as spam. That is where your CV and that is where your email goes to. You cannot fool the AI of Google or Yahoo or Hotmail or Outlook. You cannot fool these mailing services. And there are people who even offer these services. I'll send 100,000 people your email if you pay X amount of money. No, it always goes to the spam folder. Sending emails will never ever get you a job. And just calling, hi, is there a vacancy? No, thank you. Okay, bye. Oh, hi, can I just send you my CV? Okay, yeah, send. Okay, bye. They just want to brush you off. So, number one is, you need to understand, getting a job is a job which you need to be obsessed about, and it's not easy. It is not like just send an email, forward, 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 forward. There are, man, the number of emails I told you per day, 1,600 emails, notifications, messages, requests. uh, I don't, you think I sit and read? If I were to sit and read all of this, I can't do any work. And given that, me just being a single person, if I get so many, imagine how much does a company get. So please, getting a job is a job. You need to take it as a strategy. You need to take it as an obsession. It should be in your mind, before you sleep, after you get up, when you start your day, when you have food, when you interact with people. It should be such an obsession. It should, like, getting a job is a job, and you have to put your life into it until you get the result that you want. Okay, that is number one. Second one I told you is the level of obsession. See, always remember, if you meet 5 people, okay, but there is someone who has met 7, his chances are better. Now, that doesn't mean like more is always better. Quality is always better than quantity. Like, if I were to meet 2 people, but I really bonded with them, those 2 people is much better than meeting 10 people and just giving your business cards. Okay. So there's a certain degree of obsession that should be there to detail on what you're doing. Don't have one size fits all. Like, for example, just because I said a guy who meets 5 people versus a guy who meets 7, okay, I'll meet 10. No, it doesn't work that way. Use intelligence. Use, that level of thinking that is required. You need to analyze. When I sit and speak to my clients who are searching for a job, we analyze, especially the premium clients. We analyze every single day. What did you do? 8 o'clock, then 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 12. We go hour to hour to hour, and then I tell them, okay, what do you think worked productively? What do you think did not work productively? What were the mistakes that you made? What were the pet peeves that you had? What worked out? What didn't work out? Then whom should you follow up the following day? So we plan out, we not only know what has happened the current day, we plan out the next day. And then sometimes once a week, we go through the entire week and summarize. This is what worked. This is what didn't work. These are the areas that worked. These are the areas that didn't work. Man, the level of obsession that is required. Only then, whenever I post, oh, this guy got double the salary, it is not a cakewalk. It is not like applied, got a double the salary. Yay. It doesn't work that way. And there are so many people who just, I don't know, they have this thing. Oh, Loy, stop bullshitting, man. Hey, nobody can. Just because you can't do it, or you have not done it, doesn't mean others cannot. There are people who take it very, very seriously, especially those who, their life, and in a matter of life and death, their parents are depending on them, their brothers, sisters, their entire family. They don't take this as a joke. So the second one is obsession. The third one is the level of competition. My dear, please keep in mind, if you're applying for the job, you're not the only one who's applying for the job. And understand this much. You might say, I have 5 years experience. Another guy will say, I have 7 years experience. You will say, I have 10 clients who give 10,000 each. Another guy will come and say, I have 20 clients who give 10,000 each. You might say, I achieved 5% of my targets. Another guy will say, I achieved 10% of my targets. So there's always someone better than you. You might have a degree, he'll have an MBA. You will have an MBA, he might have from a degree from an Ivy League. You might have a degree from Ivy League, he might have a master's from an Ivy League. So there is always competition. But then you'll say, then what is the solution? You need to uniquely position yourself. See, I'm not the most educated guy. I don't have multiple degrees. I don't have a firm. I don't have a group of people. I don't have a company. Still, why people come to me? Because there are certain unique aspects about me, unique traits. You need to have your USB clearly outlined, because always remember that if someone is better than you, he will charge more. He will not charge less. So how do you position yourself? And that is where it becomes competitive in nature. And that is where, remember, you always have competition. I always tell people, you're sitting here for the interview. Outside, there are 5 more other guys who are ready to do the same thing what you're ready to do, offer the same results, but for cheaper. Then why should I take you and not them? So people then struggle to get the answer. Number 4 is, just keep in mind your past Many people say, Law, you do not know how much success I had in the past and how many job offers I had in the past. And some people even get defensive and say, Lloyd, do you know who you're talking to, man? 20 years of my life, 30 years of my life, people have come knocking on my door and offering me jobs big time. Yeah, that was your past. What about now? If you are really so good, then why are you unemployed right now? Why aren't you getting job offers? Why are you coming to me for service? Means what you did in the past no longer works. You cannot base your confidence and level of success for the past. Once upon a time there was no internet, there was no smartphones, there was no, what do you say, chatting and this and that. There was a different technology altogether. Telex was there. People used to send actual mail, postal mail. It used to take 2 weeks to reach from here to another country. Things are very different then, man. Things are very different today, and things will be very different in the next 5 years. So just because you're successful in the past doesn't mean you will be successful here. It's actually very hard for me to work for people above 50 because they will keep telling me, in my good old days, those days I was getting big salary job offers left, right, and center. Yeah, what happened now? Why aren't people coming knocking on your door? Oh, the market has changed, or this or that, and all the bullshit excuses they'll give. Remember, what got you from A to B and you're at B will not help you get from B to where you want to go. Keep that much in mind. Even me, I can't have this sense of entitlement. I succeeded, all these years. I'll succeed even today. No, it doesn't work that way. Even my mother, who was so successful in so many businesses that she started in Dubai in the 80s, by the time it was 2000, she thought she was invincible. But after that, every business that she started or did or whatever, all failed. And she ended up bankrupt, and today she is penniless. From being a millionaire, penniless. So this is what happens. Number 5 is, I think this is a very strong aspect of the Indian mentality, cheapest and best. You want the cheapest thing. Like I get people in my groups, WhatsApp groups, who want a book, for example, a best-selling book. Where can I get for free? So then I asked them that, I'm just curious about them. See, if you're a student and you can't afford it, fine, download a book for free. But if you're a guy who's earning big money, if you're a guy who can literally afford an expensive car, buying a book, you're being stingy to buy a book. That kind of mentality. Oh, where can I get a free this thing? Stop this free business, man. Okay, if you're talking about, let's say, for example, downloading movies. Okay, I I do download movies. I do download movies once a while here and there. But it's so rare for me to watch, a movie. It doesn't make any sense for me to have any subscription. And I'll tell you, me watching a movie, I'm being very honest with you, okay? If I were to watch a movie, I'll watch 5 minutes today. Maybe after a week, I'll watch another 5 or 10 minutes. And then I'll forget about it. And maybe then I'll watch maybe after a month. For example, this The Rock. What is that? Black Adam. Do you know that I've not been able to finish it since the time it got released until now? I'm just watching 1 minute, 2 minutes. I get bored of it. Then I might, sit and see YouTube. So there are areas of your life where, okay, fine. You want the cheapest and best, fine. Let's say, for example, for many years of my life, I used a pirated version of, what is that? Adobe Photoshop. Okay, Adobe Photoshop. It was working well. I thought, why to upgrade it? Why to pay and this and that? Finally, I decided, okay, I'm going to pay it. But by the time I decided I was going to pay, subscription had started. I was like, is it really worth the subscription? And I checked with people because now I could afford it. But then I found out a competitor to Photoshop, that was Affinity. And lo and behold, lifetime, the thing, I paid the full amount. Okay. So the point I'm trying to say here is there are some times where you have to be cheapest is the best. Okay. Or you take a cheap solution or free solution. But then there are other areas of your life you cannot take cheapest and best mentality. And I'll give you a simple prime example. This is a mistake I made. When bodybuilding was concerned, I did the same. Internet, reading books, articles. steroids, okay, triathlon, marathon, swimming, I did the same. Gym coach, did the same. Even initially, when I moved into the career of DJing, anchoring shows, I did the same. And guess what? None of these areas, not a single one, did I achieve any level of success. Neither was I the best. What I realized is I did more harm to myself, my body, my mind, mentally, emotionally, to the extent where when I finally did get a professional coach for marathon running, triathlon, swimming, what I accomplished in 3 to 6 months, I never accomplished in 5 to 6 years. Just imagine 3 to 6 months, what I achieved. 6 years, I never achieved. In bodybuilding, now when I look back, now obviously I have access to professional coaches. I realized I completely destroyed my body to the extent where it's irreversible. I harmed my body to such an extent. Was it worth it? No. And that is why when I decided on my career path that is towards coaching, I decided I'm going to spend top dollar for the top books, for the top coaches, for the top this thing. I will pay full money, full, and I'll get the best. And guess what? I finally succeeded. See, I'm being very honest and transparent with you. Where I did things for free, where I did cheapest. Today, whether it's my tools of the trade, whether it's my iMac or whether it's a technology, whether it's my training, whether it's my coaching, I spend shitloads of money. I buy the best of the best. Means I'm not saying I buy the most expensive. I buy the best value for money that serves my need. Like I can buy a camera for maybe there are some YouTubers who have a $500,000 camera, $500,000. For me, it doesn't make sense having 500,000. I have the Insta 360. It serves. That's the camera that I have. Where my iMac is concerned, okay, fine. I can buy a $55,000 iMac, okay, $55,000, or the one that I have is around $6,000, the latest studio. The speed is more or less the same. So why should I spend 55,000? So what I'm trying to tell you here is cheapest is not the solution. Free is not the solution. Being smart to know where you have to spend, what you have to spend is the common sense solutioned approach. Okay? Where your career is concerned, where your earning capacity is concerned, where your brand is concerned, where your self-respect is, where your growth is concerned, please don't be stingy there. Like your health, don't be stingy there. Where your education, your mind, your value that in your career path, there don't be stingy, man. Okay, you want to buy a cheap sandwich? Fine. Don't you can buy a ordinary coffee. Don't need to go to Amazon. Starbucks. Or you don't need to bring a gold-plated, gold flake, $100 coffee. But where your career is concerned, please. I know I'm dragging it a little bit long here. It is because this is so strongly embedded into our Indian psyche, All right. And even nowadays, you see a lot of Western people, they will busy check through their smartphone for even the vaccine or solution to a disease. They'll check on the phone and they feel, oh, this is the solution. So don't do that. Number 6 is, I tell people, see, listen, you can't be the best at everything. You can't be very good at engineering, very good at communication, very good at leadership, very good at marketing yourself. If that was the case, then you would have been the CEO of the company. You will be good at one thing and you'll be average at other things. And maybe the things that really matter, you'll be very bad. I have met so many people who are good at one, but bad at the other. So where you are bad, please take professional help. Like I'm not good at IT. I'm not good at cabling. I'm not good at technology. I pay here on the island, I pay guys little extra money to make sure that things are sorted. Like I'm getting a NAS device, which is a storage device. I'll be getting around 30 TB, terabyte. I had to pay the guy $2,000 just to not only get the device. Installation itself is very expensive, but I paid him. I told him, I don't care. Just make sure it's the best. Make sure that I have peace of mind. I could have purchased parts from other places and did it by myself and be stingy and then have the headache of, oh, someone will hack into it or it will crash or some problem will take place. So over there, remember, you cannot be the best at everything. Okay. Number 7, the proof is in the pudding. I always tell people, listen, if you are good at what you do, and if you're really like, wow, people tell me, I get so many job offers, you would have had a job offer right now. And the problem is, people on their profiles, they mention like they're God's gift to mankind. Oh, I was the number one in this. I achieved the highest this thing. I what converted 5% of the company's profit I contributed, and of 18% cost I reduced. If you are so good, the company would never leave you. The company would pay you tons of money. Any businessman, if you are giving me millions of dollars worth of profit, won't I pay you more to retain you? Why they're not paying you? Because you're bullshitting. You're just assuming that you're so valuable. And remember, even if your own boss never valued you, if you are that good, the industry would be fighting over you. I know people who have been headhunted, who have been paid from $100,000 to even $500,000 just to join. They have not been my clients, but sorry, there have been two of such my clients. But the rest, I know so many people who have been paid a joining bonus. It's called a joining bonus, or like, they bid for that guy. And yes, they give terms and conditions which can be negotiated. Then number 8 is piggyback on this same point. There's a fine line between telling the truth versus bullshit. Obviously, you can't tell the truth in your resume or your profile. You can't say, I am lazy, I bitch about my boss, I don't get along with people, I've been average at the best. You can't tell people that. At the same time, you can't say, I was the number one in the Middle East, or I was the highest earning guy month after month, or I, like I said, contributed 8% to the net profit and 18% brought down costs. Don't, truth and bullshit, there should be a balance somewhere. And there's an art in how to do it. So please maintain that. Number 9 is, this one is a spicy one. Just because there is a website that you can input your data and you get a complete CV, there is AI, there is all these softwares, there is all these websites. My dear, you are a human being. You're not I don't know what. It's like, have you ever thought about this? If it was that simple that you put your data and you'll get a CV, just imagine if 100 people all put their data into this AI and all got 100 profiles. Don't you think it would be more or less the same? It would be generic stuff that is not unique to them. And then you'll say, yeah, I'll take the generic stuff and then make it unique. You think there are no softwares to counterbalance and know whether you have done this? See, remember, if a software can generate fake content that is copy pasted, there is a counter software that can detect whether you are the actual content creator or it has been taken from AI. It is a fact. Why do you think, even though there are people who are saying, oh, I've written so many websites with AI based content, Google downrates these websites and you can't even get them on search if most of the content is AI generated? It cannot. Yes, you can get beautiful images. Yes, you can get articles written or books written. But like, you're trying to cheat the system and you can never be smarter than the system. That much I'll tell you. So all these AI cheap website providers, Fiverr for $5, $10, or you go to a company, Nadia's or Monster Hunt or jobsearch.com, and some guy will take $100. The company will take $100 or $200, whatever. The guy who's actually doing it is a guy who gets paid even maybe less than $500 a month. And his only job is to type, put in the data. There is this softwares that you can buy, man. They will take even softwares which are selling in AppSumo for $100 or less. They'll give you generic templates. It doesn't work. You try it, and you'll come to know by yourself. But remember, once your details are out there, you can't erase those details. Number 10, this is what I tell amateurs. flowery words, nice colors, beautiful layout, lovely photograph, bombastic words, big jargon. There is no CV in the world, no resume, no profile, no website, even interviews here that this works. Maybe you'll impress someone who's very junior to you, but when you come face to face to a manager who is at a level higher than you, he's better than you. He is not, there is no profile in this world where the color has been such a, wow, look at the color, I'm going to give this guy a job. Wow, look at the layout, man, what a creative layout, let me give him a job. Wow, the language is so hi-fi, I need a dictionary, he is maybe smart. Oh, what bombastic sentences. Stop fooling yourself, it doesn't work. And last, if not the least, just keep this in mind. You are hunting for a job, so you're new at the game. You have been doing it for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. The HR who's there, no, human resource professional, he has been doing it since the day he passed out of his college or whatever, and he has maybe 10 years, 20 years experience. So your 1 year experience of trying to fool the system or trying to master the system versus a person with 20 years experience. There is a saying, no, don't teach your father how to fuck. You cannot fool the HR. You cannot fool the manager. You cannot fool the guy who's getting paid more than you, who has more experience than you, more expertise. In fact, I know HR companies literally or recruitment agency who get 4,000, sometimes 4,000 CVs for a single position, and some of them get even 100 CVs per day. So you think they can't see a pattern? So don't try to fool yourself there. It's not going to work. So you cannot fool the HR, you cannot fool the manager. Just remember that much. You're not smarter than the system. So anyway, these are the 11 things that I wanted to share with you. You tell me which are the points that I've shared which really, you agree with, or if you disagree and feel, nah, you're talking all nonsense, fine. Feel free, comment down below and let me know. Like I told you, end of the day, if you're earning $1,000 a month, let's say, example, and you want to earn 1,500, that 500 into 12 is what you'll be earning extra for the same job. So there should be a reason. And there are people out there who, when they come from India, Pakistan, whatever, they get 10 times more. It's not that they don't get. And there are people in the Middle East who are currently working who get literally, I'm not joking, 1.5 to double the salary. Because it all depends. Local company versus multinational. Small company versus large company. And yes, it depends on the owner and what value he sees in you. There are people who do that. But it's a strategy. It is a full-time job, getting a job. And it should be an obsession for you to succeed. And unless you're the best of the best and you get guided by the best of the best, you cannot succeed. So these are the things I wanted to share with you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Good, bad, ugly. Love to hear from you. This is me signing off. Ciao. Take care.